Hello, Biker Paul here. Right, this video is to highlight the disgraceful state of one of Lancashire's finest areas, the roads within it. This is the Trough of Bowland. Now, we've just left, or we're just coming out of Galgate, off the A6 near Lancaster, and I've made quite a few edits. There's some really bad surfacing there. Anyone who rides a motorcycle, for that matter drives a car as well, but more so a motorcycle, it's not just about potholes. Bad surfacing can often mean, like ruts in the road. There's quite a section here coming up. You'll see they're like tram lines, and when you're riding on two wheels, it really does feel like you're on a tram line, and your wheels are in the grooves. You can see it there, and whilst that in itself isn't dangerous, nonetheless it just highlights how worn out the road is. Now, I sort of think that these roads haven't been touched for at least 10 years, because I've been riding now, back riding after a break for family reasons, for motorcycling, for 12 years now. So I'd say a good 10 years that nobody's been anywhere near them. You might see the odd patch of tarmac, but that's it. I mean, some of the locals might have done that. So you can see some really bad, I mean, the bike's shaking around. I mean, the bike is an FJR 1300 with the latest suspension. It's electronic suspension, so it's set up for two of us. It's probably on hard +3, the rear shock absorber. So it's really set up for this kind of road. But there is no, apart from the beautiful scenery, there is no pleasure in riding now around this area. And I think it's such a shame, because it must impact on local commerce. So as well as putting lives at risk, surely it must be hitting local businesses. There's not many around there, but there's places like Edisford Bridge, there's the odd sort of ice cream seller here and there. Well, if numbers are down, visitors, of course that's bound to have an effect. So now this is where the actual Trough of Bowland really starts. Start climbing up now. As I said, I've made quite a few errors, edits, and sadly the camera doesn't pick out the worst of the road. And of course, when you're under the trees, that's when it can be really dangerous, because you're riding along and suddenly you hit a pothole that you couldn't see because the bright sunshine, and suddenly you go under the trees like this, and bang. I mean, I've recently I managed to avoid a pothole on the M6 motorway near T-Bay in the number 2 lane, and I say managed to avoid it. The last 2 occasions I've come down that stretch of the M6, I've actually hit it at 70 miles an hour, and it's a matter of time before somebody's really hurt, and that's been there for a few months. So disgusting, really. But as I said, it's not just about potholes. I mean, I drive a car, I drive for my living, I drive a Ford Connect van, and I'd say 90 8% of the time where I drive around to and from Manchester and the East Lancashire area of, I'd say 98% of the time the vehicle is bang, bang bang bang, because of the state of the road. It's constantly tipping, it's uneven. It's just not a pleasure driving anymore on these roads. And I predict, as you know, if nothing is done to these roads within the next 10 years, then I suspect that they will become unusable. Now we're just coming to Trough Bridge now. Apparently the centre of Great Britain, apparently. Not sure if that's correct information, but I've had it on good information that it is. Now they built some new houses here on your left there, so nice area, lovely houses fitting in with these locale. But look at the road up here, and you think, is anybody complaining about this? Do people just think, well, what can we do about it? Because look at it. It's third world stuff, isn't it? You got those houses which cost, I don't know, $500,000, no idea. And you've got a road that resembles something out of Mongolia. Not the beautiful Ribble Valley of Lancashire. Apparently, as I said, the Queen owns this land. Now, I'm sure the Queen wouldn't be very chuffed if she found out that these roads were like this. But would she care? I don't know. I think there's so much apathy now in this country. Can you please comment in the comments about what you think of the roads? Do you think that people who complain about the roads, like myself and Mark Morell, aka Mr. Pothole, who absolutely should be supported by everyone, do you think we're just whinging? Do you think, well, what can you do? There's more to life than potholes and roads, and but or are you angry like me that the government collect between 30 and 50 billion pounds a year? That's billion, by the way. That's 50. So call it 30,000 million pounds. Just imagine having 30,000 millionaires. Just imagine 30,000 million. Because if you say billion, it doesn't register. But because there's a lottery now, there's a £1 million potential prize and more if it's rollovers. People have got used to hearing million. But if you put a B at the beginning, billion, what are you talking? So, and apparently, according to Mark, these are recent figures, 3% of that massive amount of money paid for by you and I, the motorist, by fuel duty and road tax, 3% gets spent on the roads. Where the hell's the rest going? Where's it going? Now, people say, ordinary people, this is what gets me, you got ordinary people. Well, he'd has to pay for this and he'd has to pay for that. It's general taxation. People make excuses. Where's your balls, everyone? Why don't you complain? There's 30 million cars on the road in Great Britain. 30 million. Do you not think there's enough of us to make a difference? Bloody hell, I think there is. So people are dying on the road. So those people out there that say, well, what can you do about it? As long as I've got my lottery on and I watch these enders on a Saturday, on a whatever night it's on. For those who think that way, and I'm sure that you're out there, because I meet so much apathy I really do. Just think about the people who are dying. Now, there was a cyclist, a female cyclist, killed on this road. I don't know exactly where, but it was in the Lancashire Telegraph. And it's, nothing's been done. She died. She hit a pothole. She came off her bike. And nothing is done. So life is so disposable now, isn't it? Now we're coming towards Whitewell. Now there's the inn at Whitewell. It's marvellous place for functions, wedding functions and whatnot. Now we're coming along. Now there's no sign here, I didn't see it anyway, about a road closure, but up here the road is closed. Now it was closed last December 2015, due to those heavy storms of heavy rainfall, and it's still closed. Now we're being diverted up Whole Hill up here. Now this is one on its own. I mean, little did I know what I were in for. I've actually made it slow motion, so I just slowed it down a bit further up here, so I hope it plays okay. But yeah, apparently in the Lancashire Telegraph, about the road closure, they were hoping to have it reopened by February of 2016. Well, this is the 5th of June 2016 when we were riding, and you've just seen it's still closed. Now, I'm no civil engineer, I don't know what's involved, but you've got a main road there closed due to a landslip. What, 7 months ago? And you think this wouldn't happen in a modern country. This shouldn't happen in a so-called 5th richest economy in the world. Incidentally, we're only the 5th richest economy because we're heavily taxed. I'm sure that is because we haven't got the same manufacturing that we used to have. We used to power the world. Now they open up Burger King and KFC all over the place. But that's another matter. Now then, I've slowed it down. They've clearly been patching here, which is something positive. But again, I reiterate, now, what you can't see from this video camera is the view behind. Oh my word. The view is absolutely tremendous across the Ribble Valley. Wonderful. It really is. I'll include a photograph at the end and just let you see what the view's like. So, but the point is, you've got a lovely road like this. Now, wouldn't it look so much better if it was all the same colour, instead of it looking like a patchwork quilt? Because, the A591, for example, up in Cumbria from Grasmere to Keswick, they reopened it a good few weeks ago, after that was destroyed by the December floods, and they've completely resurfaced it, and they've relined it. Of course, it's black tarmac, pavement. The Americans call it pavement, but we call it tarmac. Sorry about that. And it actually adds to the scenery, to the actual beauty of the area. You've got Thirlmere on your left, and you've got these beautiful pine trees on your right, and this lovely black road snaking its way through, and it's beautiful. So, you know, when you're in this kind of area, which is it's outstanding beauty. It's beautiful. The Forest of Bowland is so beautiful, and it's on our doorstep. But I will not ride up there again until the whole lot is resurfaced, which means that will probably be never. Now, I'm a Lancashire lad, and for me to say that I will not visit one of my favourite places in my county really upsets me. We head to Yorkshire, and the roads over in Yorkshire aren't what they used to be, what they should be, but they're a damn sight better than what they are in Lancashire. Lancashire is either massively deprived of money from central government, or somebody's wasting millions of pounds and spending it elsewhere. So we head to Yorkshire, we head to Cumbria, we head to County Durham, places like that. And if you go on my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel at Biker Paul, you'll see that we spend an awful lot of our time up there. Whereas Lancashire, I mean, you know, there's not a lot left after politicians have chopped it up since 1974. You know, we used to have some parts of Cheshire, we used to have some parts of what they call Merseyside now, Sefton, you know, we've got, I mean, I like West Lancashire. Now then, on your left there, that's loose chippings. They've done all that road, they've dressed it in loose chippings. Now, again, yeah, okay, they've put loose chippings down, they've done it there where that car was coming out, and of course it spreads everywhere. And on a motorcycle, unless you know what it's like on two wheels, you can't know. And you think, oh, I never thought of that. It's actually a death trap, this loose chipping. Especially now, they don't do it properly. They used to put plenty of tar down so that the chippings would actually bed in. But now they're just loose everywhere, and they gather at the points of the road where we ride, because obviously a car, two wheels, it forces the chippings to the parts of the road where we ride. And of course, again, there's no maintenance, so at roundabouts and things where car tyres throw the debris into the side of the road, it just becomes an absolute eyesore, because there's nothing but dust and gravel and stones and glass, anything that gathers, you know. So I mean, I've had it said to me by people older than me said that we're a third world country now. Isn't that awful? The fifth largest economy, and people regard this as a third world country. Isn't it sad? Right, so we've arrived in Edisford Bridge near Clitheroe, and this bridge is in particular bad shape. Well, the road, I mean, just over the bridge. They've patched it up, as you can see, which I think, you know, when you get a lot of vehicles over these bridges, you know, it must put strain on them. But there's some terrible road here. Just there, look at that, terrible. And Clitheroe in the Ribble Valley is like a very well-to-do area. Right, thanks for watching. Please comment. And there's the photograph showing that view up Hall Hill, and as I said, what a shame the road's been allowed to get in that state. Thanks for watching. Please comment. Bye for now.